This is a presentation of the Comfort Lake Forest Lake Watershed District 2024 Annual Reporting. My name is Emily Hines, and I'm the Planning Coordinator for the district. This presentation is divided into 3 sections. First, I will summarize the 3 annual reporting documents we create each year and the varying levels of detail they have. Next, I will highlight some new and notable activities from 2024 occurring under the district's programs. Finally, I will review some of the water monitoring data from 2024 and how that relates to each lake's nutrient impairment status. 2024 Year in Review is a 1-page high-level summary of activities and milestones in 2024, some of which include the district's 25th anniversary, the delisting of Bone Lake, and several program and project highlights. The annual report is required by statute and must be submitted to the state by April 30th. Statute has specific requirements for what must be included in the annual report, and staff checks to make sure we're including all of this information, plus including other interesting updates and telling the district story. The progress summary reports progress toward our water resources goals, including floodplain, lakes, rivers and streams, wetlands, upland resources, and groundwater. On odd-numbered years, this report provides an evaluation of progress toward each of the 56 goals in the 10-year watershed management plan. On even-numbered years, we scale this report back to only cover the 20 water resource-specific goals, that is excluding the programmatic goals. Our hopes with putting out the shorter report every other year is to keep readers' attention while still covering the most essential information. In general, the district is steadily making progress toward all of the goals in the plan and collecting the necessary data to target efforts, establish programs, and implementing cost-effective projects. Here are some highlights from the district's program activities in 2024. District staff conducted over 1,700 site inspections on active permit sites. Overall, these sites were 96% compliant with district rules such as erosion control and pollution prevention, which is excellent. Clean construction sites are critical to ensuring clean water in downstream lakes and other water resources. District staff continued inspecting best management practices from past permits that have maintenance declarations. This ensures these best management practices are functioning as designed and doing their job to protect water quality and manage stormwater runoff. The district utilizes online tools for reporting, which increases time efficiency and makes it easier for permit holders to be compliant with the rules. The permitting program and implementation of the district's rules are a core critical activity required of the district by state statute. The district's water monitoring program is carried out by staff, volunteers, and supported by consultants. Working with volunteers and having in-house staff perform monitoring work results in cost savings for the district and its taxpayers. 2024 was an above-average year for rainfall, especially compared to relatively dry years in 2022 and 2023. This resulted in a higher-than-average flush of nutrients into our lakes. Despite this seasonal variability, almost all of the lakes in the district are showing improving long-term water quality trends for phosphorus concentration, chlorophyll concentration, and clarity. The water monitoring program is critical to the district's ability to measure progress towards goals, and the data helps guide decision-making. I'll present more information on lake water quality later in this presentation. The district continued to offer its residential and community cost share programs in 2024, including 45 initial site visits, 22 soil tests conducted, 13 cost share grants awarded, and 10 participants in the Legacy Payment Program. The district continued its comprehensive shoreline program, which includes public outreach, cost share, and shoreline inventories. District staff completed shoreline inventories on Moody, Birch, School, and Shields Lakes in 2024. Additionally, the district continued to meet with its farmer-led council and offer agricultural cost share incentives. Cost share projects are a cost-effective means to improving natural resources because of the shared cost and landowner maintenance. This program helps local residents do their part to protect water resources. These types of projects are critical to protecting public investments in water quality. As part of the education and outreach program, the district celebrated its 25th anniversary since establishment in 1999 and held a State of the Watershed public meeting, which was attended by 85 people. The district partnered with the Bone Lake Association to hold an event celebrating the delisting of Bone Lake from the nutrient impaired waters list. The district held several community education classes and events throughout the year and increased its social media presence. The district continued to perform outreach for its shoreline program and worked on public relations with respect to shoreline health. The education and outreach program helps local residents understand why and how they can do their part to improve water resources. It helps the district build trust within the community, and it provides an opportunity for the district to showcase its work and explain the results that tax dollars are paying for. As part of the interagency communication program, the district engaged in more frequent and proactive coordination with other government entities such as cities, counties, state agencies, and soil and water conservation districts. The district works with partners to leverage grant funding whenever possible and achieve shared goals, such as street sweeping to reduce pollutant runoff to lakes. Effective coordination between governmental entities results in greater efficiency, reaching goals faster, and creating lasting, more sustainable change by working together. Under the research program, the district continued to monitor the results of the Moody Lake Native Species Aquatic Plant Transplanting Project, which began in 2023. Improving native plant diversity in Moody Lake helps preserve water quality in the lake's ecosystem. The district pursues partnerships with research institutions such as universities as opportunities arise. Research initiatives help the district stay current on new technologies to maximize project effectiveness. The district applied for a variety of grants in 2024, ranging from large grants for projects and land acquisitions to smaller grants for programmatic initiatives. The district has expanded its grant-seeking net over the last few years and applies to a wide variety of different grant programs, from federal to state to the local level. Partnerships are key to grant seeking, and examples include the Lower St. Croix Watershed Partnership watershed-based implementation funding, partnerships with cities for enhanced street sweeping, partnership with Great River Greening to enhance the North Shore Trail nature area, and partnerships with local lake associations, cities, counties, and Lions clubs for aquatic invasive species grants. The district has been awarded approximately $878,000 worth of grant awards in fiscal year 2024, and so far has been awarded $1.64 million in grant awards in fiscal year 2025. For comparison, the district's 2025 tax levy is $1.8 million. New projects are consistently being added to the district's operations and maintenance program each year. The district maintains a comprehensive O&M plan in order to document project inspections and maintenance schedules, and the district is working on an online O&M database to better track inspections performed and maintenance work completed. The O&M program is a core critical function required by state statute, and the program ensures that projects are achieving their designed lifespan. This program also promotes public safety surrounding wintertime lake aeration by providing thin ice warnings. The district implements a multifaceted aquatic invasive species prevention and management program, including watercraft inspections, plant surveys, and aquatic plant management. AIS can negatively impact lakes and streams in numerous ways, and prevention and public outreach are key. Detailed presentations on the AIS program can be found on the district's website at www.clflwd.org. Under the Land Acquisition and Management Program, the district restored vegetation and cleaned up the North Shore Trail nature area on Forest Lake. The district executed a purchase agreement for a project site near Little Comfort Lake and plans to close on the acquisition in 2025. The district continued to communicate with the landowner regarding a large potential conservation acquisition near Bone Lake. The Land Acquisition and Management Program is important because urban development continues to expand, and conservation of natural spaces provides wildlife corridors and protects natural resources. Public open spaces also benefit people in many ways. The district works closely with government partners with respect to all land acquisitions. Under the Watershed Planning and Resiliency Program, the district completed a crisis communication plan in 2024, which outlines the district's response to a variety of crisis scenarios, such as natural disasters or pollution spills. The district has two other major planning efforts underway with the Floodplain Vulnerability Assessment and Strategic Plan. Both of these efforts will be completed in 2025. Planning and Planning and resiliency are important because in Minnesota, we are seeing wetter springs and drier summers as time goes on. Heavy spring runoff can impact water quality and cause flooding. The district's planning efforts, which occur in coordination with other government entities and local community members, prioritize efforts in order to mitigate the most harmful effects of flooding and other natural water-related natural disasters. Lake water quality and nutrient impairments. In general, meeting state standards means cleaner, clearer water. For example, being clear enough to be able to see your toes in chest deep water. It means less frequent and less severe algae blooms, and it generally means a healthier, thriving lake ecosystem. Ideally, we would see a healthy native plant community and fish population in the lake. What do we measure and why? Phosphorus concentration is important to measure because excess phosphorus feeds algae growth that makes waters less attractive for swimming and other aquatic recreation. Some studies have shown that 1 pound of phosphorus can feed up to 500 pounds of algae in a lake. Phosphorus can also fuel toxic blue-green algae blooms, which are harmful to people and pets. For shallow lakes, like Shields Lake, we want to see phosphorus concentrations below 60 micrograms per liter. And for deeper lakes, like most of our other lakes, we want to see phosphorus concentrations below 40 micrograms per liter to meet state standards and below 30 micrograms per liter to meet the district's long-term goals. While phosphorus feeds algae growth, chlorophyll A is a measurement of actual algae growth in the lake. Higher chlorophyll concentrations mean more algae. A Secchi disk is pictured here and is a tool that is used to measure lake clarity. The higher the Secchi depth reading, the clearer the water is. These are the three main factors that translate into nutrient impairment delisting criteria. The district also measures total suspended solids in streams and lake inlets and outlets. This ties to land use in the watershed and may point to soil erosion or urban runoff issues. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, or PCA, has detailed requirements for how to remove a lake from the impaired waters list. In a nutshell, that includes water quality samples, long-term trends, and the presence of management activities on the landscape. The progress summary and the following presentation slides provide a high-level overview of the impairment delisting criteria for each lake. These illustrate how close our lakes are to meeting state standards, but in all cases, the district would need to work closely with the PCA to thoroughly evaluate the data available and come to a consensus before a lake can be delisted. We've just undergone this process with Bone Lake and can repeat it for additional lakes in the coming years. In general, the data sets for our lakes are very thorough and would support several lake delistings soon. However, the district has taken a comprehensive watershed management approach to improving and keeping these lakes clean. There are many factors to consider beyond the water monitoring data, such as watershed management practices that are still in progress, grant-seeking efforts, and climate change. As you can see by the phosphorus concentration chart in the bottom left of the slide, Moody Lake has come a long way in the past 10 years. The district's water quality projects and in-lake alum treatment have played a major role in its improvement. Moody Lake is showing significantly improving trends for phosphorus, chlorophyll, and clarity. 2024 was an above-average precipitation year, which was preceded by 2 very dry years beforehand. Heavy rains meant heavy runoff and higher than normal pollutant loading being flushed into all of our lakes. You can see Moody Lake's response in phosphorus concentration and clarity in 2024 here. Chlorophyll remained somewhat stable. Within the most recent 10-year period, Moody Lake has had several instances of meeting state standards. However, the 10-year concentration remains high, skewed by the exceptionally high readings prior to 2020, and the 2024 water quality readings did exceed state standards in several instances. While we have met the goal nutrient load reduction for Moody Lake, seasonal variability is still to be expected. Continued monitoring and increasing the period of record since the alum treatment is expected to show improved water quality readings over time. Bone Lake was removed from the impaired waters list in 2024, and water quality readings are still within the delisting criteria. Chlorophyll levels were elevated in 2024, but phosphorus and clarity are well within the standards, and the long-term trends for all three are improving in Bone Lake. At a maximum depth of 24 feet, School Lake is considered a shallow lake and therefore has a higher state standard threshold than deep lakes. The district's data set for School Lake isn't as complete as our larger lakes, so we are unable to calculate long-term statistical water quality trends. However, recent years of monitoring show School Lake generally meeting state standards. Shallow lakes are more susceptible to fluctuations than deeper lakes. By cleaning up upstream lakes like Bone Lake, and by implementing upstream projects like the feedlot and agricultural BMPs, we are building resiliency for School Lake's water quality. The district has projects that are still in progress, which will help protect School Lake. Shields Lake is a small lake at 29 acres and a shallow lake with a maximum depth of 27 feet. Just 10 years ago, Shields Lake's phosphorus concentration was almost 6 times higher than the state standard. Similar to Moody Lake's story, the district implemented water quality projects and an alum treatment, which drastically improved Shields Lake's water quality, bringing it within state standards. Shields Lake is showing significantly improving long-term trends in phosphorus, chlorophyll, and clarity. Being a shallow lake and more prone to water quality fluctuation, Shields Lake's 2024 water quality was indicative of the precipitation levels we saw last year. That being said, we can use our water monitoring program to do some investigation into the Shields Lake watershed and bottom water conditions, which may shed more light on why such a significant fluctuation occurred in Shields Lake specifically. We will collect more data to determine if there is more at play here than just the unusually high runoff rates. Little Comfort Lake has seen significant water quality improvements over the last 10 years and is showing improving trends for phosphorus, chlorophyll, and clarity. 2024 phosphorus readings exceeded state standards, but clarity and chlorophyll met state standards. The district has multiple water quality improvement projects in process in the Little Comfort Lake Management District. These projects will result in further improvements to Little Comfort Lake and subsequently Big Comfort Lake as well. However, we estimate that more projects are necessary to meet the nutrient load reduction goals set for Little Comfort Lake. The district received a grant funding to further study the Little Comfort Lake and Comfort Lake Management Districts in order to develop projects to meet those load reduction goals. Comfort Lake is the final lake in the Comfort Lake Forest Lake Watershed District flowage. The district's numerous projects and improvements upstream in the watershed are apparent in Comfort Lake's water quality over the last 10 years. Since the Chisago County Water Quality Petition for Comfort Lake in 2009, the district and partners have implemented 2 major wetland restoration projects, several urban best management practices, and enhanced street sweeping in the cities of both Forest Lake and Wyoming, resulting in phosphorus and sediment reductions for Comfort Lake. The 2024 summer averages for both chlorophyll and clarity exceeded the state standard, but Comfort Lake's summer average phosphorus concentration has been below the state standard every year for the past 10 years, and the lake is showing improving long-term trends in phosphorus, chlorophyll, and clarity. As noted earlier, the district is in the process of further studying the Little Comfort Lake and Comfort Lake Management Districts in order to develop projects to meet nutrient load reduction goals. Forest Lake is not impaired for nutrients, but its water quality readings occasionally exceed state standards. Forest Lake has improving long-term trends in all 3 basins for phosphorus and chlorophyll. Forest Lake's West Basin has an improving trend for clarity, but the Middle and East Basins have a declining trend in clarity since 2015. The district will perform the second and final alum treatment dose in Forest Lake this fall, concluding the alum treatment project. It takes multiple years of data to shift long-term statistical trends, but we anticipate that the alum treatment will result in cleaner, clearer water for all 3 basins of Forest Lake immediately. Overall, 2024 had high precipitation after 2 dry years. This meant high runoff and higher than normal pollutant loading for all of our lakes. Major lakes are still generally in good condition, and we might not be all the way toward the district goals, but we're getting closer. The original timeline to achieve long-term goals was 2040, and the district is well ahead of that schedule and has moved up the goal to 2031 and may achieve some even sooner. The district has several projects and studies in the works in order to make further improvements to water quality in district lakes.